Karla Young. I am a native of Lancaster, a graduate of Lancaster High School, and I am currently an art teacher with the Lancaster City Schools. Once again, I have teamed up with the Lancaster Festival to bring you a week of virtual art classes, so I hope you'll join us. We all know it's the most wonderful time of the year, and since I'll be home for Christmas, and so will many of you, we thought it might bring some holiday cheer to come up with a week full of holiday and winter crafts, ornaments, and gifts for you to make while you're at home and follow along with me. So I hope you'll join us. Let's get started. Today we are making Hark the Herald Angels Sing angel ornaments. These angels are made completely out of paper. There is lots of folding involved, but I'm going to break down the steps for you. Hopefully you won't have any trouble. As you can see in these two examples, one of the angels is a little bit larger than the other. So the size of your paper is going to determine the size of your angel. So for this larger angel, I used 2 sheets of paper, 6 inches by 12 inches. You can buy 12 by 12 inch square decorative scrapbooking paper at Hobby Lobby or your nearest craft store. So that is what I bought to do these examples. This one here, the angel that's a little bit smaller, I used 2 sheets of paper that are 4 inches by 8 inches. So if you want a little bit bigger angel, 6 by 12 is a great size to work with. 4 by 8 is a good size if you want your angel to be a little bit smaller. It's completely up to you. So once you have your paper size determined, you're also going to need a pair of scissors. You're going to need a glue bottle and a hot glue gun used with parental supervision. You'll want just a couple small pieces of ribbon. And then we are not using paint for this project, but I grabbed this because I can trace that size circle or the one on the top and use that to make the head. You could also probably just trace maybe a quarter, anything you can find in your house that's a small circle to use as a pattern. Okay, so let's get started. You are going to take the large sheet, you should have 2 of them. You're going to zigzag fold this sheet. This is what it's going to end up looking like. This is what we're going for. All right. So I like for my zigzag folds to be pretty perfect. So there's a trick to help you. You can, let's see, take this, fold it in half, and then you're going to fold both ends so that they line up with that center line. You're going to fold it again. On both sides. And one more time. Gets a little harder to fold the thicker the paper gets. And then if you'd like, you can take a pencil and just go over that so your folds are nice and creased flat. So let me show you that again. You start with this piece of paper and you fold it in half, okay, to get that center line. Then when you open it up, you're going to fold it in a total of 3 times to that center line. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. Same thing on the other side. There's your first fold, the second, and the third. Crease it really well. Now you're ready to open it up and accordion fold this. So some of the folds, you're going to have to make them go backwards from what we just did. But the creases are all in the right place. It'll get your accordion nice and evenly spaced. So you're keep going. Okay, so now we have this piece here, folded like an accordion. We're going to push this back together, and we're going to make the arm of the angel. So we just want to come down a little bit and bend this down. So if you think about this part being the skirt or the dress, and this part being the sleeve. Okay. Again, I might press down with my pencil just to really get those folds nice and creased. All right. So there is one half of my angel, and I'm going to have to bend this the opposite way. And the other half of my angel. So you can start to see how it's going to come together. The next thing you want to do is you want to choose a small piece of ribbon. And this is going to go in the center of the angel. So this is going to be the loop where we hang it up. So you can take your glue bottle, put a little bit of glue right there, and place your ribbon. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and add more glue and stick the opposite end of my ribbon in place. Okay. And then more glue again all the way down, and it's going to stick to the other half of my angel. So you might have to hold this for a little bit until the glue starts to dry. Okay. Now right now it still looks a little bit funny because these arms are just kind of sticking up in the air. So we are going to glue down the sleeve by adding a little dab of glue right there and pushing that side down like that. And then we're going to add a little dab of glue on the opposite sleeve and push that down. Okay, so there we have the angel's sleeve and her dress. And the loop to hang, she's just missing one thing, a face. Oops, this one came undone. Okay, so again, I'm just going to take something round, and I want a front and a back side to her face, which means I need 2 circles. So I'm going to fold my little extra square of paper in half. I'm going to trace around my object like that. Carefully cut this out. So since my paper is folded, I'm actually cutting out 2 at a time. So we will have a front and a back. I like for the face paper to match the body paper, but that's just personal preference. And I'm going to glue the 2 unpatterned sides together. Okay, and while all of that is drying, that's going to go right there. But while everything is drying, I'm going to make the bow out of a second piece of ribbon that's going to go around her neck. So I think I'll choose red for this. Go ahead and cut a little bit of a longer piece than you think you might need. So I'm just going to tie this into a bow, just like I'm tying my shoes. Pull it. Then you're going to have to play with it for a little bit. Kind of pull these ends, because we don't need a giant bow. We need a small bow. So you might need to play around with it just a little bit. Get it just the right size for what you're wanting. Okay. And then I'm going to trim the two ends. I'm going to trim them at an angle. And this is where the hot glue gun comes in handy. It's really hard to get the head and the ribbon to stick with regular glue bottle. So I'm going to take my hot glue gun and I'm going to put a little dab of glue right here at her neckline and stick on that head. This is a low temp glue gun. I prefer those to the hot or high temp, because then you don't get burned as easily. And then we're going to put just at the base of her face, kind of at her chin. I'm going to put another little dot of glue, and I'm going to carefully stick that ribbon in place. Get rid of my glue strings. And there we have a Hark the Herald Angels Sing angel ornament. Thanks for joining me along with the Lancaster Festival and creating some art with us. We hope you have yourself a Merry Little Christmas and a Happy New Year.